I'm going to start this demonstration logged onto the Windows Azure portal. So I'm just in Internet Explorer and I've gone to manage.windowsazure.com and I've logged on. So I already have an account here that I can use. Very straightforward to set up a trial account, and this is just the portal for that. So what I need to do now to start off with is create somewhere to store the backup data that we're going to create from SQL Server. So we're going to go down to New at the bottom of the screen, and then go to Data Services, and we want to create new storage. And it says that you've got Windows Azure for blobs, which is actually what we need in here. And we'll just do a quick create, and we need to provide a URL. So this is our company name. Normally this will be, in this case, our virtual company name. It does need to be unique because it's .core.windows.net. I'm just going to use GTA, that's my initials, SQL Backup for this, which hopefully has not been used. It will give me a tick. Yep, so there's ticks there. You should choose your correct location because there's a number of different things. In different countries you get different rules about data sharing with governments and so on. And also you may just choose that you want it in a particular location. So I'm in the UK and Western Europe, so I'll pick that and create the storage account. And that's just going ahead and doing that. Okay, so this is now created, and I'm going to go to Manage Access Keys. We need to be able to essentially connect to this system using a password. So the access keys are effectively the password for this. And we can go here and it will load our access keys. You can regenerate them if you ever think there's a security risk, the ones you're using. You can regenerate them. I'm actually not going to note this down now. I'm going to return to this page because it's far easier to use the copy button to copy this and then put it into where we need to use it in SQL Server. You can use either the primary or the secondary access keys. Both of them will work. So I'll just close that down now. You can use the tick or the close button here. The next thing we need to do in here is to create a container. So I'm going to go to my storage, click on there, and then we can go to containers. So it's like a folder, if you like, to store your backups in. And I'm just going to create a new container in here. It says no containers at the moment, so we can create a container. If you had one already, you could also click add to add one. And the container name we'll use in here, because I'm going to use it for SQL Server backups, I use SQL Backup. And it's going to be private. It makes most sense for a SQL Server backup to be private. You can make them public. I can't really think why you do that with a SQL Server backup, but it is possible. And that's creating that now. Right, we now need to create the credentials within SQL Server to be able to use that storage location. So what I'm going to do now, and you'll have to note the URLs here actually, so I'll leave this page up for now. I'm going to go to Management Studio in here, and we've got credentials for SQL Server. So what I want to do in here is create a new set of credentials that SQL Server will use to connect to that. I'm going to create a new credential using the graphical interface in here. So we'll go to new credential, have a credential name, we'll just use SQL Demo for this. Now the identity is the account that we used in Azure previously. So when I created the Azure setup in here, I used GTA SQL Backup. So put that in here. So whatever you used in the previous step to set up your storage. And the password, now I can copy that by going to Internet Explorer, clicking on Manage Access Keys, and we can copy the key from here. So that's now been copied. Return to our new credential, and then I'll just use Control V to paste that in here, and confirm the password, pasting it in there again, and OK. Okay, let's go back to Management Studio. We can now see we've got credentials stored in there. Right, to perform the actual backup then, I'm going to create a new query. And I'll connect this to the master database in here. So it's just a standard backup command. So I'm going to backup database, and the database that I've got here is called Finance. And this is the difference here. We have this new ability to back up to URL with SQL Server 2014. And here we need to provide the path to our Azure database, our Azure storage in here. Now, we can actually have a look at that because we can find it. If I go back to here, let's close down my access keys. If we click onto here and click onto our containers, then we can find this here, this URL here. Okay, so I could actually copy that from here. And paste it in here. Now I need to provide a name for the actual file, so I'm going to do a finance backup, so I'll just call it finance.back for now. And I need to provide the credentials that we're going to use to actually connect to our Azure service. So that was SQL demo. So we've provided the path, the file name, and the credentials that we've already set up, and then we can execute this query. Okay, so the backup's now succeeded. You might notice it's a very, very small database, just for this demonstration, but obviously that's uploaded that to the cloud, to Azure. If we want to have a look at it, then we can. And we can go into here, and we can see there's our container. If I click on our container, then that now contains finance.back, so it's stored up there. Okay, so I'm now going to do a restore just to check that we can get the data back down again, make sure it works properly. So I'll return to Management Studio, create a new query. Again, it's standard syntax that we're using, so we're just using a standard restore command. And it's the finance database. And we're going to use this new syntax again from URL equals, and I've got that copied in still, and it was called finance.back. Now I need to provide my credentials again, and it was called SQL demo. And there's one other thing I need to do in here. I'm just going to force it to replace it over the top of the existing database that I've already got. And I'll execute this. And again, it should be quite quick, so not moving an awful lot of database data down. And there we go. So it's successfully uploaded data to the cloud and downloaded it from the cloud. It's an ideal solution because we want to put our backups somewhere that's really safe, somewhere that's not connected to our actual databases that we've got locally. We want them on different power supplies, we want them in different locations, and here we've got that. We've actually uploaded them to the Azure cloud. Very straightforward and very easy to restore them as well.